Today, we are diving into something really, really important: kidney disease. And here's the thing, for most people, it's surprisingly preventable. We're going to break down all the warning signs, what causes it, and most importantly, how to protect yourself. And we're doing this with some amazing insights from a doctor with 35 years of experience on the front lines. So let's get into it.
Just let that sink in for a moment. This single sentence really sets the stage. It's not about statistics or charts, it's about real human suffering. The doctor makes it clear that unlike other diseases, kidney failure and the whole process of dialysis bring this incredibly long, drawn-out hardship to both patients and their families.
And a massive part of that hardship is financial. That number you see, that's not a one-time thing. That's the cost every single month for dialysis in India. And that doesn't even count things like travel to the clinic, missing work, or family members having to quit their jobs to become caregivers. It's a financial weight that can absolutely crush a family.
To really bring this home, the doctor shared this story about one of his patients, a shopkeeper. He literally watched over 5 years as the relentless costs of treatment just dismantled this man's life. It bankrupted his business and completely shattered his family's future. It's just a heartbreaking example of how the ripple effects of this disease go so far beyond just the person who's sick. So, what are these organs we're talking about anyway? What do they even do? Well, think of your kidneys as your body's ultimate high-tech purification plant. They're the master cleaners, pulling all the toxic gunk out of your blood. They're the fluid balancers, deciding exactly how much water your body needs to hold on to. And they're little hormone factories, making stuff that's crucial for your blood pressure and even for creating new red blood cells. They're working 24/7 to keep you going.
Okay, so let's get into what actually goes wrong. Now, for most of us, kidney damage isn't some rare, unlucky disease. The doctor is super clear on this. In the vast majority of cases, the damage is preventable. And often, it's self-inflicted. And that's both a really scary thought and a really hopeful one.
And this right here shows the top 3 bad guys. Now, what's so fascinating here is what's at number 1. I bet it's not what you'd expect. The biggest, most common cause of kidney failure, according to the source, it's popping too many common over-the-counter painkillers, specifically a type called NSAIDs. Right behind that are uncontrolled diabetes and a high blood pressure.
So here's the point, and it's a huge one. Look at that number. Somewhere between 75 and 80% of all kidney failure cases come from just those 3 things we just saw. That's insane. It means that if we can just get a handle on our use of certain drugs, our blood sugar and our blood pressure, we could prevent almost this entire disease.
All right, so how do you know if something's wrong? Let's decode the signs. The really tricky part about kidney disease is that it's a silent attacker. In those early stages, when it's easiest to fix, you often feel absolutely nothing.
So doctors measure how well your kidneys are working in 5 stages. Look at this. In stage 1 and stage 2, your kidneys are already taking a hit. They're already getting damaged, but there are almost never any symptoms. You feel fine. The first real warnings don't usually show up until stage 3, when your kidney function has already dropped quite a bit. That's why being proactive is everything. But there's one super early clue you can check for yourself right at home. It's the color of your urine. Healthy pee should be a pale, clear yellow. But if you notice it's always foamy or frothy or really dark, or even the opposite, totally clear like water all the time, that could be a sign your kidneys are having trouble. It's kind of like your body's first little warning light. Once you get to stage 3, your body starts sending out clearer signals. Because your kidneys aren't getting rid of extra fluid and waste, you might start to notice some swelling in your hands and feet. You might have to pee all the time or not enough. That waste buildup can also make your skin super dry and itchy and just leave you feeling tired and weak for no reason. Now in stage 4, as kidney function really starts to plummet, those symptoms get way more intense. The swelling gets worse. You might feel shorter breath because fluid is starting to build up in your lungs. The toxins make you feel sick to your stomach, you might get this weird metallic taste in your mouth, and you can get these awful muscle cramps, especially at night. And by stage 5, this is end-stage kidney failure. The body is just overwhelmed, patients have severe fluid buildup, they totally lose their appetite, they can't sleep, and they get incredibly anemic because the kidneys just stop telling the body to make red blood cells. At this point, you need dialysis or a transplant just to stay alive. Okay, I know hearing all of that is really scary, but please stick with me because this next part is, without a doubt, the most important part of this whole explainer. This is where we talk about taking back control, because you have way more power here than you might think.
This right here This is the single most important thing the doctor said. I want you to really let this soak in. If you catch this disease in stage 1 or stage 2, before you even feel sick, the damage is not just stoppable, it is 100% reversible. This is not a life sentence if you act early.
So how do you act? What's the game plan? Well, it's actually pretty straightforward. It all ties back to those main causes we talked about. You have to be diligent about controlling your blood sugar and your blood pressure. You have to be really, really careful about taking unnecessary drugs, especially those painkillers. Get regular checkups and adopt a healthy diet. The doctor even specifically gave a shout out to the keto diet for being helpful.
And what do those checkups look like? It's not some big, complicated thing. The doctor says there are 2 really simple, inexpensive tests. A basic urine test to look for protein, that's a super early sign of damage. And a blood test that checks your creatinine levels, which basically shows how well your kidneys are filtering out waste. That's it. That's your early warning system.
So we'll end with this question for you to think about. Your body is constantly giving you feedback. The real trick is learning to listen, especially when it's whispering in those early stages, before it has to start shouting to get your attention. So the most important question you can ask yourself is, what are my kidneys trying to tell me?